When it comes to collaging in my junk journals, layering is one of my favourite techniques to use. There are so many possibilities and so many different ways that you can create depth and interest and texture and all sorts of goodness within the layers of your pages. Hey, it's Meg, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing day 10 of the Junk Journal January challenge. Today's prompt is layered, as you might have already guessed, and we're going to be doing some layering with my collage materials. And before we get into this video, just to remind you that we do of course have the collaboration going on throughout this month. I'll leave the link down below to the playlist. I'm really enjoying watching all the creators' videos each day, and I hope you are enjoying them as well. So the page that I'm going to be working on for this prompt actually ended up being a tracing paper page, which at first I thought, oh, that's great for adding layered effects too, but then also a translucent page can actually be quite difficult at the same time because you don't really have much room for adding certain things to the page. So what I decided to do whilst I was thinking about what I wanted to do on that page was I grabbed some of my stencils and some white acrylic paint, and I decided to use my just scrap papers, so here's some brown paper bags, to create my own collage fodder to go into these pages and to use in my layering. So if you've got papers lying around like this, some packaging or what have you, and you're not quite sure how you want to use it within your journal pages, then adding stenciling, adding stamping, or even painting it, there's so many ways that you can transform those boring papers into collage material that you can use within your page. Now, when I started assembling this page, there were things that you couldn't see everything that I had done, and that is just the nature, I think, of layering, is that you're not going to see everything peeking through, but you will see bits of it. So the things that you're going to use in the background of your pages, I would suggest you use things that maybe you aren't as precious about and you don't necessarily mind if parts of them get covered up with other things that you are adding on top of your page. And here I'm actually coming in with my stencil and just using a pen to outline the stencil itself. I wanted to have something that had a little bit of a different effect for this piece of collage, so I'm just using this black pen here to outline it. It's a little bit more bold because the paint on the brown paper, although it was quite crisp, it was still a little bit splotchy in places, which I personally didn't mind, but I wanted something to contrast that. And doing it this way also meant that I had the opportunity to do a little bit of mindless colouring in here. So I'm using a Caran d'Ache Luminance pencil here in this really bold pink to just colour outside of the lines actually, and I was doing it in a little bit of a scribbly motion, so I wasn't being too precise with how I was actually colouring. So sometimes I was actually colouring over the lines and just doing it in little crisscross motions, because I knew that this would be a background piece, so it didn't matter too much how precise it was just a nice activity to do. And then what I decided to do was use both sides of my page. So rather than having, say, these traditionally being the background element and then putting something on top, because I had this tracing paper page, what I decided to do was actually put them behind the tracing paper so you can still see through, which is why with this being quite a bold design as well, it worked quite well.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw. this morning has so clear a light as any, to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a race. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day to today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. Today is a good day to live.
So as you've seen, my collage of all these different layers went through a lot of different versions. I was trying all sorts of different things out, and I think that's the joy of working in this way, is you get to try different combinations and see what works before you actually commit to gluing anything down. You can tuck an extra thing behind it or add some more detail, some more depth. And I'm using another one of these tracing paper flowers that I printed out in a previous video, which I'll leave linked down below in case you haven't seen it. This is now my new favourite thing and I'm absolutely loving it, and I thought that this would be absolutely perfect for this prompt of layered. And just to make sure that it really popped on this page, I added a layer of white acrylic paint on that tag to subdue some of the markings that were on the background of that tag, and then I just glued it down, and I love the way that it's melting into the page, and I think the yellow works really nicely with some of the other colours I've got going on in this page. It's not hugely colourful, but I think it has the right amount of pop of colour versus all the different layers going on, and I've tried to have things where they are overlapping, they're tucked behind each other, they're tucked around the page, there's the torn edges, which I think is another really fun layer to add. And then I've also got this PET tape here to again add another layer, because when I was thinking about what text I wanted to add, I thought that these little cutouts would work really well just because they are another layer. So it was just really fun working with lots of different materials for this page as well. If you're still looking to do your layered page for this day's prompt, I definitely encourage you to try and see what different materials you can layer up, because I've obviously used some recycled packaging here, I've used tags, I've used the pink floral there, I believe is actually wrapping paper, I've used some old book pages, I've used some stickers, I've used paint, I've used tracing paper, I've used an old stamp, lots of different things going on this page to layer up and help the central image really pop. So I've kind of arranged them in such a way that you do still have that central focus, even though there are quite a lot of things going on this page. The tag really helps to keep it all together and to have that central focal point. So I'm just adding some extra little flower stickers here around the edge of the piece, just for no reason at all. I just really like them actually. I just thought that they would be fun to add onto the page. So that is everything for my page for today. I hope you enjoyed journaling along with me. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.